Hello everybody. Welcome back to this channel. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that affects many of us, the things that can ruin your discipline and leave you completely burned out. Now, let's talk about something we've all experienced at one time or another: lack of discipline. Have you ever wondered why, despite your best intentions, you find yourself procrastinating or losing focus? Well, today we'll unravel some of the most common reasons behind this and explore step-by-step strategies to overcome it. 1. Lack of clear objectives and motivation. Let's start with a fundamental point: having clear goals. Many times, we feel overwhelmed because we don't know where we are headed. The lack of concrete goals can make our discipline crumble. So, the first thing you should do is sit down and define your short, medium and long-term goals. Imagine your ideal life and work towards it. Motivation follows goals, so make sure you have a clear list of reasons why you are doing what you are doing. 2. Constant distractions. Distractions, the scourge of discipline. We live in a world full of stimuli, from social media to constant notifications on our phone. How do you deal with this? First, identify your main distractions. It could be your phone, social media, TV, whatever. Set specific times to deal with those distractions. Use apps that help you limit the time you spend on non-productive websites. Learn how to turn off those notifications and create a distraction-free work environment. Are you liking the video? Be sure to like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any. 3. Lack of productive habits. Lack of solid habits can ruin your discipline. Did you know it takes an average of 21 days to form a habit? So, instead of trying to do everything at once, start small. Establish daily habits that get you closer to your goals. For example, if you want to write a book, start by writing just 15 minutes a day. Over time, this will become a solid routine. 4. Not taking care of yourself. Another thing that can ruin your discipline is lack of self-care. Discipline does not mean working without rest. If you don't take care of yourself, your mind and body will burn out quickly. Establish a consistent sleep routine, eat healthy foods and exercise regularly. Self-discipline is based on the ability to stay balanced and energetic. 5. Fear of failure. Fear of failure is a monster that can paralyze us. But here's the truth: failure is inevitable on the road to success. Change your perception of failure. Instead of seeing it as the end of the world, look at it as a learning opportunity. Break your goals into smaller steps and celebrate each small accomplishment. This will make the process much more manageable and less overwhelming. 6. Lack of routine. Lack of a structured routine can make you feel lost. Create a daily schedule that fits your needs and natural habits. Schedule specific blocks of time for work, rest, socializing and learning. A well-planned routine will give you a sense of control and stability. 7. Perfectionism. Perfectionism can be your worst enemy. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you will never get started. Learn to accept imperfection and keep moving forward. Progress is more important than perfection. Break your tasks into smaller steps and focus on completing each step instead of obsessing over perfection. 8. Lack of support. Lack of a support system can be a huge burden. Find people who share your goals and inspire you. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or an online community, surrounding yourself with people who encourage you can make a huge difference. In summary, discipline is like a muscle that we must train and strengthen. Set clear goals, manage distractions, develop productive habits, take care of yourself, embrace failure as part of the journey, create routines, overcome perfectionism and seek support. Discipline is not a destination, it is an ongoing journey. I hope you found these tips helpful. Remember to like this video, subscribe for more motivational content and share your own tips for staying disciplined in the comments. See you next time, guys. Hello to all investors and future homeowners. Today I am excited to talk to you about a very important topic for those who want to buy a house in Spain and need financing, the 20% ICO guarantee. This is a fundamental resource for many. First, let me give you an overview. The Official Credit Institute, known as ICO, offers a 20% guarantee for home purchases in Spain. What exactly does this mean? Well, when you go to buy a house, you usually need a percentage down as a down payment, right? Well, the ICO guarantee allows you to reduce that initial percentage, thus facilitating the purchase of your home. But, like everything else in life, you have to meet certain requirements and understand how it works. Let's start with the requirements. Currently, to access the 20% ICO guarantee, there are certain criteria you must meet. First, you must be a resident of Spain. This is crucial, as the program is designed to facilitate access to housing for residents of the country. Second, you must be of legal age. Third, you must meet the solvency criteria established by the financial institutions participating in the program. This means having a good financial situation and the capacity to pay the mortgage. Now, let's talk about strategies to make the most of this resource. One key strategy is to research and compare the different mortgage loan options available. Not all financial institutions offer the 20% ICO guarantee, and conditions can vary significantly among them. It is important to find the best deal in terms of interest rates, payment terms, and additional requirements. Another smart strategy is to make sure you have all the necessary documentation ready and in order. This includes identification documents, proof of income, credit history, and any other information that lenders may require. Having everything ready and organized will facilitate the application process and increase your chances of being approved for the ICO endorsement. Also, it is important to keep in mind that the 20% ICO guarantee does not cover the total amount of the mortgage loan. Therefore, you may still need to have some savings or additional resources to cover the remainder of the down payment and other expenses associated with buying a home, such as closing costs and taxes. Now, let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of applying for the 20% ICO guarantee. The main advantage is that it allows you to reduce the down payment required to buy a house, which makes access to housing easier for many people. This is especially useful for those who may have difficulty saving a large amount of money for the down payment. In addition, the 20% ICO guarantee can help you get better terms on your mortgage loan, as it provides additional collateral to lenders, which can translate into lower interest rates and more favorable payment terms. However, there are also some disadvantages to consider. One of the main ones is that the 20% ICO guarantee is subject to certain criteria and requirements, which means that not everyone can qualify for this program. Also, as I mentioned earlier, the guarantee does not cover the entire mortgage loan, so you will still need to have some savings or additional resources to complete the down payment and cover other associated expenses. Another disadvantage is that by reducing the down payment, you may end up paying more interest over the term of the loan. This is because a lower down payment means a larger mortgage loan, which can result in higher monthly payments and a higher total cost over the long term. In summary, the 20% ICO guarantee can be a valuable tool for those wishing to purchase a home in Spain, but it is important to fully understand how it works and carefully consider all options and consequences before making a decision. With proper research and careful planning, you can take full advantage of this resource and make your dream of home ownership a reality. Good luck in your home search and on your path to ownership. A tourist arrives at a hotel and leaves a 100 bill on the counter before checking the rooms. The hotel owner takes the bill and, instead of keeping it, decides to use it to pay off an outstanding debt of 100 he owes to the baker. The baker, upon receiving the bill, does the same and pays his debt to the butcher. The butcher, in turn, uses the same bill to pay off a debt he owes the doctor. Surprisingly, the doctor returns to the hotel and uses the bill to pay off the hotel owner's original debt. In the end, the tourist, dissatisfied with the hotel, retrieves his bill and leaves. In this scenario, no one has directly earned any money, nor produced anything tangible, but all debts have been settled. This situation reflects the paradox of the magic bill, where money in circulation fulfills its primary function as a medium of exchange. The lesson here is that money in motion is essential to keep it from losing value. If you are interested in learning how to put your money in motion effectively, I invite you to follow me, as I will be happy to teach you. Hello, investors and financial enthusiasts. Welcome to this extensive talk about the MyInvestor app and all its wonderful features. Have you ever wished for an app that not only allows you to monitor your investments, but also offers an intuitive and transparent experience? Well, you're in luck, because MyInvestor is just that and much more. First, what is MyInvestor? MyInvestor is an investment management app that has come to revolutionize the way we interact with our money. It has earned a reputation as an accessible platform for investors of all experience levels, from beginners to financial experts. Now, let's dive into the key features that make this application so special. 1. Registration and initial navigation. Logging into MyInvestor is like opening a door to a personalized financial world. The interface is clean, easy to understand and designed to make both novices and experts feel comfortable right from the start. The registration process is simple and secure, and once inside, they are welcomed with a clear summary of their assets and navigation options. 1. Custom profiles. Once they are in, they encounter the jewel in the crown, personalized profiles. MyInvestor performs an intelligent analysis of your financial profile and investment preferences to offer recommendations tailored to your goals. Do you want to invest short-term for a specific project, or are you thinking long-term for retirement? The app has personalized options for everyone. Are you liking the video? Be sure to like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any. 1. Diversification simplified. Let's talk about diversification, that fundamental pillar in the investment world. MyInvestor not only explains the importance of diversifying your portfolio, but also facilitates its implementation. With intuitive tools, you will be able to distribute your investments equally among different assets, thus reducing risk and maximizing opportunities. 1. Real-time analysis. And what would an investment application be without real-time data? MyInvestor does not skimp on providing up-to-date information about your investments. Interactive charts, performance analysis and relevant news, all at your fingertips. This not only helps in making informed decisions, but also educates users on the ins and outs of the market. 1. Automatic saving tools. Want to save automatically? MyInvestor has incorporated innovative tools that allow you to round up your purchases and automatically transfer the change to your investment accounts. It's like pocket change, but for your investments. This feature not only encourages consistent savings, but also makes it easier to invest without you barely noticing. 1. Integrated financial education. It's not just about investing, it's also about learning how to invest. MyInvestor has integrated a complete education center that offers everything from instructional videos to detailed articles on the key concepts of the financial world. Interested in understanding how bonds work? Or maybe you want to delve deeper into the technical analysis of stocks. It's all at your fingertips. 1. Human advice when they need it. Despite the wonderful automation, MyInvestor also understands the importance of the human touch. Have specific questions or need personalized advice? The app offers access to real financial advisors, ready to guide you through more complex decisions or answer your more detailed concerns. 1. Security in the forefront. In this digital world, security is a priority. MyInvestor has advanced security protocols in place to protect its users' personal and financial information. From two-factor authentication to end-to-end encryption, you can be confident that your data is in safe hands. If you find it interesting, remember that in the description you have the option to create an account completely free, and today this video is uploaded. they give you with the remunerated account 2.5%. Conclusion. In short, MyInvestor is not just an app, it is a trusted companion in your financial journey. From simplifying the investment process to continuing education, this app has raised the standard in investment management. For those looking to take control of their financial future, MyInvestor is an option you can't ignore. So there you have it, a deep dive into the functionality of MyInvestor. I hope you're as excited as I am to explore this world of financial opportunities. See you next time. Hello everyone, investors and future financial experts. Today we are going to delve into the fascinating world of saving and financial protection. What's the secret to saving and securing your financial protection? Yes, you guessed it. It's having a solid plan and following some simple but powerful steps that will lead you to financial success. So get ready, because let's dive into these steps one by one. Step 1. Set your financial goals. Think about what you want to achieve in the short, medium and long term. Do you want to buy a house, travel the world or retire comfortably? Whatever your goal is, have it clear in your mind and write it down on paper. Step 2. Make a budget. This is your financial roadmap that will help you control your spending and make sure you are allocating money to your savings goals. Identify your monthly income and expenses, and look for areas where you can cut unnecessary expenses. Step 3. Create an emergency fund. Think of this fund as your financial lifeline in case an unexpected emergency arises, such as a job loss or an expensive home repair. It is recommended to have 3 to 6 months of basic expenses covered in this fund. Step 4. Automate your savings. Make the process of saving as easy as possible by setting up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings or other investment accounts. This way, you make sure you're saving consistently without even thinking about it. Step 5. Invest wisely. Once you have your emergency fund established, it's time to grow your money. Research different investment options, such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds or real estate, and choose those that best align with your financial goals and risk tolerance. Step 6. Review and adjust regularly. Life is full of changes, and your financial plan must adapt to them. Periodically review your goals, budget and investment portfolio, and make adjustments as needed. Now that we've broken down these key steps, I want to remind you that the real secret to saving and securing your financial protection lies in discipline and perseverance. It's not just about doing it once and forgetting about it, but maintaining healthy financial habits over time. Remember, every small step you take toward your savings goal is a step toward greater financial peace of mind and freedom. So go ahead, start building your path to a more secure and prosperous financial future today. You have the power to make it happen. Hello, investors. Today we're going to talk about a crucial topic: avoiding those financial mistakes that could lead you straight to poverty. I know it sounds dramatic, but trust me, these mistakes can have a devastating impact on your finances if you don't address them properly. First, I want to start with something shocking: most people make financial mistakes without even realizing it. It's easy to fall into spending traps and patterns that can leave you in a precarious financial situation. But here's how to prevent that from happening. 1. Lack of budget. The first mistake many people make is not having a budget. This is basic, but essential. A budget allows you to have total control over your income and expenses. It is like a map that guides you to your financial goals. So, make a budget today. Analyze your monthly income and expenses and make sure you allocate funds for your basic needs, savings and investments. 2. Living beyond your means. This is a big problem in our consumer society. Many people fall into the trap of spending more than they earn, resorting to credit cards and loans to maintain an unsustainable lifestyle. Don't fall into this trap. Learn to live within your means and prioritize your spending according to your real needs, not your momentary wants. 3. Not having an emergency fund. A serious mistake is not having an emergency fund. Life is full of unforeseen events, such as unexpected medical expenses, home repairs, or even sudden job loss. Without an emergency fund, you will be forced to resort to expensive debt to deal with these situations. So make sure you have an emergency fund that covers at least 3 to 6 months of basic expenses. 4. Ignoring the power of compound interest. Compound interest is one of the most powerful forces in personal finance, but many people completely ignore it. Basically, it's earning interest on your interest, which can lead to exponential growth of your money over time. Start investing early and consistently to take full advantage of the power of compound interest. 5. Not diversifying your investments. Another common mistake is not diversifying your investments. Putting all your money in one stock or sector can be dangerous. The key to reducing risk and maximizing profit potential is to diversify your portfolio. Invest in a variety of assets, such as stocks, bonds, real estate, and index funds, to protect against market volatility. 6. Not educating yourself financially. Financial education is critical to making smart decisions with your money. Many people make mistakes simply because they don't understand how the world of finance works. Take the time to learn about concepts such as investing, saving, taxes, and risk management. There are tons of resources available, from books and online courses to seminars and podcasts. 7. Putting off planning for retirement. Last but not least, putting off planning for retirement is a serious mistake. Time is your best friend when it comes to saving for retirement, thanks to the power of compound interest. Don't put off until tomorrow what you can start today. Start a retirement plan as soon as possible and contribute to it regularly. In short, avoiding these financial mistakes is critical if you want to build a solid foundation for your financial future. Budget, live within your means, establish an emergency fund, take advantage of compound interest, diversify your investments, educate yourself financially, and don't put off planning for retirement. Your financial future will thank you. Remember, the key is to make smart decisions with your money today to ensure a prosperous tomorrow. Let's go for it, investors. Hello, investors. Are you ready to dive into the world of banking of the future? Because today we are going to talk about a phenomenon that is revolutionizing the way we manage our money, the neobank Revolut. Imagine this, a bank that fits in the palm of your hand, that has no physical branches, but allows you to access world-class financial services from your cell phone. That's what Revolut offers, and today we're going to explore every aspect of this innovative platform. What is Revolut? Revolut is a neobank, which means it's a fully digital bank. It aims to provide more efficient and cost-effective banking services through the use of technology and at a lower cost. How does it work? The magic of Revolut lies in its mobile app, which acts as your portal to all the financial services it offers. Once they download the app and register, they have access to a fully functional bank account where they can receive deposits, make transfers, pay bills, and more, all from the convenience of their phone. Key features. One of Revolut's main features is its focus on international transfers. With Revolut, they can send money anywhere in the world at the real exchange rate, with no hidden fees. This makes it ideal for people who travel frequently or have family members abroad. Another outstanding feature of Revolut is its debit card. This card comes in two variants, standard and premium. The standard card is free and comes with a number of benefits, such as the ability to spend in over 150 currencies at the interbank exchange rate and withdraw cash at ATMs without commissions up to certain limits. The premium card, on the other hand, offers additional benefits, such as travel insurance, priority access to customer support, and the option to obtain a metal card. Additional services. But Revolut doesn't stop there. It also offers a number of additional services that can help them manage their money more efficiently. For example, they can set up separate savings accounts for different financial goals, such as an emergency fund or a vacation, and set budgets for specific categories of spending to stay within their limits. Investing with Revolut. One of the most exciting features of Revolut is its investment platform. With Revolut, they can invest in a variety of assets, including stocks, cryptocurrencies, ETFs, and more, all from the same app they use to manage their bank account. This makes investing more accessible and convenient than ever. Security and regulation. Of course, security is a major concern when it comes to financial services, and Revolut takes this very seriously. They are licensed by the UK's Financial Conduct Authority and the Prudential Regulation Authority, which means they are subject to strict regulations that protect your funds. In addition, they use state-of-the-art technology, such as two-factor authentication and end-to-end encryption, to keep your information secure at all times. So if you're looking for an innovative way to manage your finances, Revolut could be the solution you're looking for. And there you have it, investors. I hope this talk has shed some light on the exciting world of Revolut and inspired you to explore this platform for yourself. Remember, the financial revolution is underway, and Revolut is leading the way. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Hello, dear investors. Welcome to another exciting video on our finance channel. Today we are going to talk about a topic that is on everyone's lips, Bitcoin and why it's going up. Before we dive into this exciting world of cryptocurrencies, let me remind you that I am not a financial advisor and this talk is for educational purposes only. Always do your own research and consult professionals before making any investments. Now, let's get down to business. Bitcoin, the original cryptocurrency, has been making waves in the financial markets in recent years. But why is its price rising so much? Well, there are several factors that are contributing to this phenomenon. First, we must understand the concept of supply and demand. Bitcoin has a finite amount, with a total limit of 21 million coins. As more people and companies show interest in acquiring Bitcoin, demand increases. And since supply is limited, this inevitably leads to an increase in its price. It's the simple law of supply and demand in action. Now, what is driving this growing demand for Bitcoin? There are several factors at play here. One is the growing acceptance and adoption of Bitcoin as a legitimate way to store value and conduct transactions. Major companies such as Tesla and PayPal have announced that they will accept Bitcoin payments, which has further validated its use as a medium of exchange. Another important factor is the growing institutional adoption of Bitcoin. Large institutional investors, such as hedge funds and investment firms, are beginning to view Bitcoin as a legitimate store of value and a hedge against inflation. These large inflows of institutional capital are further driving demand and contributing to rising prices. In addition, we cannot ignore the role of macroeconomic and geopolitical events on the price of Bitcoin. Trade tensions between major economic powers, changes in central bank monetary policies and movements in the stock markets can have a significant impact on the price of Bitcoin. Investors often turn to Bitcoin as a safe haven in times of turbulence in traditional markets. We should also mention the role of speculation in the Bitcoin market. As with any volatile asset, there are investors who are entering the market in hopes of making quick profits. While speculation can temporarily contribute to price increases, it can also lead to extreme volatility and significant corrections. Now, what does all this mean for investors who are considering buying Bitcoin? Well, as I always say, the key is diversification and risk management. If you're thinking about investing in Bitcoin, make sure you do so as part of a diversified portfolio and only with the money you're willing to lose. Bitcoin is an extremely volatile asset and can experience sharp corrections in the short term. It is also important to keep in mind that the cryptocurrency market is relatively young and still evolving. There are regulatory, technological, and security risks to consider when investing in Bitcoin. It is crucial to stay informed and stay on top of developments in this ever-changing space. Well, that's it for today. I hope you found this talk useful and informative. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting financial content. See you next time. In this video, I will guide you step by step to organize your week productively and effectively. You'll learn how to do it from the ground up, ensuring not only a well-planned week, but also a focus that encompasses your day-to-day, week, month, and even your long-term vision. Step 1. Set your vision. We'll start by establishing your life vision. You may ask yourself, how is my vision related to weekly planning? The answer lies in understanding that your vision is fundamental. Not only does it guide the organization of your week, but it also shapes your yearly, monthly, and lifetime planning. It is easy to neglect this vision, but it is crucial to avoid stress and frustration. Step 2. Plan and divide your week. The key here is to divide your week into two approaches, strategic and operational. Identify the activities in which you will invest time and effort, from personal projects to your exercise routine. Then, develop strategies to carry out these activities effectively. For example, if you need to upload 2 videos to YouTube this week, plan each step, from script writing to final editing. Set specific times for each task and be realistic about how much time you will spend on each. Step 3. Time blocks. Organize your activities into 3 blocks: strategic, buffer, and escape. The strategic block is reserved for activities that move you closer to your goals, such as planning projects or making sales. The buffer block is used for low-value tasks that are necessary but not a priority. Finally, the escape block allows you to disconnect from work and engage in personal or recreational activities. Step 4. Performance chart. Keeping a numerical record of your progress allows you to evaluate your weekly and monthly performance. Use a chart to record your goals and progress toward them. Identify areas for improvement and adjust your planning accordingly. This will help you stay focused and motivated to reach your goals. Step 5. Commit. The last step is to commit to your plan. Although there are unforeseen events that may affect your schedule, look for alternatives and maintain a positive attitude. Consistency in planning and execution is key to long-term success. Remember, spending time on weekly planning may seem like overkill, but the long-term results make it worth it. Start today and constantly improve. For more tips on personal development and planning, I invite you to explore my YouTube channel and join me on this exciting journey of personal growth. See you there. Warren Buffett is not only one of the richest people on the planet, he's probably also the lowest spending billionaire around. In some ways, he always has been. He usually spends $3.17 on a breakfast at McDonald's. If the market is down, he'll choose the cheapest option. He still lives in the same old house he bought for only $31,500 over 60 years ago. He even used to drive an antique car. But at the same time, in 1989, Warren Buffett's company spent $6.7 million on a personal jet. In 1952, he bought a public speaking course from Dale Carnegie, which turned out to be quite expensive if you talk in terms of opportunity cost, but we'll get to that later. Also in 1952, Buffett splurged 6% of his then net worth on a wedding ring. He even rates the wedding ring purchase as the best investment he ever made. I've never bought a piece of jewelry I've regretted, although Charlie Munger used to call the plain the indefensible. In any case, it's clear that the Oracle of Omaha thinks that sometimes an investor must be willing to pay outside the stock market. So the question arises as to how frugal an investor should be. In this video, we will summarize the issue of deferred gratification in 3 distinct points. First, let's discuss why frugality is important to the investor. Here's how Warren Buffett defines investing. Investing is giving up consumption now in order to have the ability to consume more at a later date. It goes to show that he understood the wonders of compounding very early on. He has always believed that every dollar today can be $10 another day. In Buffett's case, that has proven to be a modest assumption. And when you think about the math, expenses snowball very quickly. Given the stock market returns Buffett has had over the years, what do you think the cost of that Dale Carnegie course he bought at age 22 is in today's terms? If he had invested the money, it would now be $291 million. No, this is not a typographical error. This is compound interest at its finest, or worse, depending on how you look at it. It may be a bit aggressive to expect you and I to ever have the same kind of returns as the Oracle of Omaha. But let's assume we can make half of what a young Buffett was able to realize. So what's the opportunity cost of buying a car when you're 20 years old? We're not even talking about a flashy car. I'm basically talking about the cheapest model you could get at today's prices. If you had invested the money, you could have bought a much fancier car at 30. At 40, you could have bought a whole house, yes, in cash. And by your 50s, you would have achieved financial freedom, if you hadn't bought that car, of course. Warren Buffett's first rule of investing is to never lose money. His second rule is to never forget the first. Overspending is a guaranteed way to break this rule without even making a mistake in the stock market. It is also a guaranteed way to delay the date when you will reach financial freedom. So compound interest and its wonders is why it's a good idea to be at least somewhat frugal. Most investors understand this, and this is why it is almost a bragging right within our circles to talk about your high savings rate. I have always believed that you should spend 2 or 3 cents of every dollar you earn and save the rest. But how frugal should an investor be? What's a reasonable savings rate? 10% of your income? 30%? More? Obviously, this depends on personal choices, but let me help you analyze your own situation by giving you some rules of thumb from Warren Buffett. Any money you save before you go out and start a family will probably be worth $10 later, simply because you can save it. The time to save is young. The first rule of thumb hinted at above is that the younger you are, the greater the financial incentive to be frugal. One of the main reasons Warren Buffett is the richest investor out there is because he started early. He bought his first stock when he was just 11 years old and managed to make and save a ton of money as early as his teens. The best day to start was probably yesterday, but today is the second best day. So don't be discouraged. Secondly, well, it's a personal choice of how much you value a certain activity. Who's to say whether it's better to defer $1 of spending on your family on a trip to Disneyland or something that they're going to enjoy enormously so that when they're 75 years old they can have a, 30-foot boat instead of a 20-foot boat. In the introduction to the video, we saw that Buffett spent 6% of his net worth on a wedding ring in 1952 and calls it the best investment of his life. And by now, this man has been known to make a lot of great investments. Furthermore, Buffett would never suggest that you have to be frugal or defensive about making purchases that you expect to yield you a lot more at some point, as he did when he spent 1% of his net worth on a Dale Carnegie public speaking course in 1952. That would have been $291 million today if he had invested the money. It may be hard to imagine today, but Warren Buffett used to have a lot of stage fright back then. He realized that this was going to set him back a lot in his quest for riches, so he decided to pay to help him grow as a person. I bet the $100 he paid for the course is at the top of the list of his best investments of all time. Also, third, you can argue that how frugal you are supposed to be depends on where we are in the market cycle. And if you find that everything is extremely cheap, like in '74, you have to put every available penny into stocks. And that's what we've tried to do. Take the current stock market situation as an example. The S&P 500's 3-year average earnings yield, that is, how much the companies in that index have earned over the past 3 years compared to what they currently cost, is 2.9%. As you can see from this chart, this is lower than at any other time in history. In 2008 and 2009, for example, it was a much better time for investors to be chasing currencies. Because we would have made more than twice as much profit per consumption back then than we do now because of how expensive the stock market is today. Yes, it is actually relatively more justified to go out and splurge on a Ferrari right now. However, this is not financial advice and you should not forget rules 1 and 2. I have everything I want in life. It's a no-brainer. If there is something money can buy, there are things money can't buy. But if there is something that money can buy that I would want, I would do it this afternoon. If I may speculate a bit with myself, I think Buffett's ability to remain frugal, even with the enormous sums of money he has today, boils down to two things. His perception of his own self-worth is not generated through a money-consuming activity, and he has no expensive hobbies. If you can combine those two things, you will have a much easier time achieving financial freedom. For us as investors, $1 today is worth a lot of dollars years from now. Save more when you are young and when you find great investments in the stock market. However, some off-market activities are too valuable to be stingy. Stay frugal by trying to find a way to feed your ego without spending it all on expensive items and avoiding expensive hobbies. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and like it. Bob Economist bids you farewell here. Greetings to all channel followers. Today we will dive into a topic that encompasses the fundamental pillars of economic stability and financial success: net worth. It is common that, when talking about personal finances, people tend to focus only on the monthly income they receive, leaving aside a crucial aspect: what is their true net worth? Net worth goes beyond monthly income. It is a concept that comprises the difference between your assets and your liabilities. Why is this concept so relevant? Because it reveals the true measure of your wealth, not simply how much you earn, but how much you retain and generate over the long term. In this video, we'll explore in detail why net worth is essential to achieving financial success and how you can work to effectively increase it. But before we dive into this fascinating world, I want to invite you to reflect on your financial objectives and the importance of setting clear and achievable goals. What does it really mean to have a positive net worth? It means that your assets exceed your liabilities, which gives you a solid position to face financial challenges and take advantage of growth opportunities. But how can we increase our net worth? We will address 4 key factors that determine your net worth: income, savings, investments, and a shift in focus to a more simplified financial life. It's important to understand that earned income is only the starting point. The real potential lies in the ability to turn that income into passive income streams, which work for you even when you are not actively engaged in your job. Saving also plays a critical role in building your net worth. The financial discipline of saving first and spending later is essential to accumulating capital and dealing with any unforeseen events that may arise on the way to your financial goals. Once you've established a solid emergency fund, it's time to take the next step: investing. Smart investments can multiply your net worth and generate significant passive income over the long term. It's crucial to educate yourself about different investment options and develop a strategy that aligns with your long-term financial goals. However, the road to a positive net worth is not without its challenges. In today's society, we are constantly bombarded with messages urging us to consume and spend more than we really need. It is crucial to resist the temptation of rampant consumerism and adopt a more conscious approach to our finances. If you find this content useful and valuable, I invite you to leave a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more financial freedom tips and strategies. Thank you for joining us on this exciting journey to a life of prosperity and abundance. Imagine a world where chickens and eggs are not only part of the farm, but also at the heart of the economy. In this world, each hen represents a source of income, while each egg symbolizes money. Let's begin our journey into this fascinating financial universe. You have 3 hens, each one lays 1 egg a day, and those eggs are all you have to eat. Every day you have 3 eggs, but one day you decide you want to make a cake with 10 eggs. What a problem. You don't have enough eggs, but there's a nearby farm that offers you 10 eggs today if you return 12 in the future. You decide to accept. You enjoy the cake, but then realize that you must return the borrowed eggs each week, which means you will have fewer eggs to eat. Meanwhile, your neighbor, who also has 3 hens, decides to save his eggs for the future. Soon he has more eggs and can even buy another hen. So, we learn that it is important to make smart financial decisions to make sure we have enough eggs for our long-term needs and wants. So it's worth considering our possibilities, and if you want to keep learning, here's another video and my channel. Thank you very much for being here. We all have the intention of saving, but many times it is very difficult to achieve it. In the following minutes, I will explain 4 possible reasons why you can't save. 1. Waiting for the end of the month. You wait to see if there is any money left over after working a full month. The long-awaited day has finally arrived, your payday. You immediately think, I've worked so hard this month, I deserve to go somewhere different for dinner. So you spend a good portion of your salary to treat yourself. The next day you get your electric bill and your cell phone bill, so you pay them. 3 days later, at work, you decide to go out to celebrate the birthday of one of your coworkers, and you have to spend on food and also contribute to the cake that you are going to buy for your coworkers. In the evening, when you get home, you receive the message that you have to pay the rent and maintenance of your house. So you proceed to pay it, but when you look at your bank account, you are surprised because you can't believe that in only 3 days you only have that amount of money left. It's only been a few days and you've already spent more than half of your salary. Now you will have to live with the little money you have left and stretch that money as far as you can to see if you can make ends meet, or, if not, in the worst-case scenario, you will have to use your credit card. Although last month you had already promised yourself that you were not going to use it, just in case you had the money to pay for it. 2. Use your savings for any situation that comes up. Marta is a very organized young woman. Every month she saves a good part of her salary and keeps it in a little box in her closet. That little box is well hidden and none of her relatives know that she has it there. Marta always saves and saves, but she doesn't know the exact amount she has in her box. Marta's problem is that, just as she saves every month, she also ends up using a large part of what she has saved, because a situation always arises that forces her to use her savings. For example, Marta was sitting quietly at home when at one point her mother called her and asked her if she could borrow $50 to go to the market to buy some fruit. Hiromi, seeing that she had no money in her purse, took the money out of her little box, but promised herself that she would replace it as soon as possible. On the contrary, several days later she had to take more money out of her purse to use it for something else she needed. Likewise, the month before, she had to take money out of her cash drawer to pay off her credit card, because she went overboard buying things she didn't need. This usually happens when we don't put much protection on our savings. We must prioritize the amount we are saving and try to secure it as much as possible. Ideally, you can put that savings in a place where you do not have so much access to it so that you can avoid the temptations that will arise during the month. Also, you have to put a name to those savings so that they can carry more weight for you. If you don't know what you are saving for, then whatever comes up will be the destination of your savings, because by having money available, you will be tempted to use it at any time. On the contrary, if you start to name your savings or place them as the goals you have, this will motivate you to continue increasing that amount month after month and not to use it on things that are not related to that initial purpose. 3. Spending more than 30% on rent or mortgage payments. Bob has always wanted to save money, but realistically, looking at his monthly budget, he knows he can't save a single peso. Unfortunately, his entire salary is compromised. Bob is a processing assistant in a major bank in his country and has a monthly salary of $600. He lives in a rented house where he has to pay every month the amount of $300. Additionally, between transportation, internet, his cell phone, electricity and food, he spends the $300 that remains of his $600 salary. He has nothing left for himself, because all the money is distributed to his fixed expenses. The alarming situation in Bob's budget is that he is spending more than 50% of his salary on rent for his home. The amount you are going to pay on your rent or mortgage loan cannot exceed 30% of your income or the total of you and your partner's income. If it is higher than that percentage, then your budget will be greatly affected and you will have many limitations and financial worries. Bob couldn't rent that apartment, but his dream was always to live in an expensive area of his city. He said that if he was going to work in a bank, he had to live in a decent area. So he decided to take on that expensive rent and preferred that to having more financial freedom. Besides that, he forgot that, in addition to the fixed expenses, there are also the variable expenses, which are those unplanned expenses that may arise every month, such as an illness, something to repair in the house, clothes to buy, an extra fee to pay, a help to a family member. Living with such a tight budget, where you don't have the possibility of having at least a small part for yourself, can be very frustrating and at the same time very dangerous. Don't take on more than you can afford. If your dream is to live in a certain place, have a car of a well-known brand, travel to a country, or something else, create a specific savings for that goal and you will be able to see your dreams come true at some point. We must be aware and understand that, if at this moment I don't have the capacity to buy something, maybe this is not the right time. But don't let that discourage you from not fulfilling your dreams. On the contrary, look for ways to increase your income so you can get what you want so much. I don't see limitations, on the contrary, I see possibilities. If someone could achieve something, you can too. The only thing holding you back is yourself. 4. Having a lot of debts. Saving will be impossible if you are full of debts. In these cases, the priority is to pay all your debts. The interest on some loans or credit cards is often very high. It is better if you can focus on paying this off as soon as possible. If you have several debts, you can evaluate debt consolidation. Many banks offer this type of service and give you a lower interest rate than you are currently paying. This will give you more cash flow. However, this is the case for people who have a lot of debt. If this is not your case and you only have a loan that was properly planned and that you have within your budget, then you can save. It is only recommended that you do not save a large amount, but a small amount that allows you to create the habit of saving. So that when you finish paying your loan, the habit is already created and you can save a larger amount per month. One of the causes of stress in people is finances. Not having enough money to be able to pay all the responsibilities of the month is usually very frustrating. That is why, in many cases, people resort to personal loans and others, in order to make up for the money that is missing for the month. Debts are not bad, but we must be very careful on what we get into debt and if we will have the money to pay those installments. These are the 4 possible reasons why you cannot save. Try to identify which of these you have so you can eradicate them from your life. Today is your best day to start from scratch the habit of saving, no matter the amount. Starting is the key that will lead you to achieve your goals. As we saw, the most important thing is to create the habit of saving and then find the means to secure that amount. Before you go, if you are one of those people who spend a lot of money, then you have to click on this video. BobEconomist says goodbye here. Albert Einstein believed that the rule of 72 was a more important discovery than his theory of relativity. The first reference to this rule comes from Luca Pacioli, who is considered the father of accounting. In his book, he explains the importance of this rule. Being able to double your money in a few years is literally everyone's dream. How many times have you wished upon a shooting star that tomorrow you will wake up with 6 figures in your bank account? Well, I'm here to tell you that this is possible. I'll be talking about the rule of 72. So stay tuned and get ready to learn. Number 1. The rule of 72. The rule of 72 applies to setting financial goals, analyzing economic trends, planning financial goals, evaluating investments, and also helps you with debt. The way it works is by determining how long it will take for an investment to double at a fixed interest rate. Here's how it's calculated. Take 72 and divide by the rate of return you expect to earn. For example, if you plan to earn 5% interest, divide 72 by 5. That gives you 14.4. This is the number of years it will take to double your money. This rule has many advantages. You can, for example, quickly and easily determine if you are following trends. In addition, you can also make sure that you are on the right track when it comes to your financial decisions. It can also be used to calculate inflations, as it shows you how many years it will take for the value of the initial sum to halve, rather than double. That said, there are also some disadvantages to using this rule. For example, it can only be applied to assets that calculate compound interest annually. This rule also has accuracy issues, as it cannot calculate rates below and above 6% and 10%, respectively. However, don't let these disadvantages pose a problem between you and the rule of 72. Number 2. Compound interest. As we have already said, the rule of 72 only works with compound interest. If you don't know what compound interest is, here is a video where I explain what compound interest is. When you understand the rule and the power of compound interest, you will have the secret recipe for financial growth. Having also talked about the rule itself, let's talk about compound interest. The fantastic thing is that the longer your money is invested, the higher your earnings will be. In other words, the interest earned on your initial investments is added to your initial investment, and this cycle continues. Basically, invest your money and then forget about it. Now, if you want to know how long it will take you to double your current savings, you will use the rule of 72. When it comes to compound interest, look for one where the interest rate is high, because the higher the interest rate the faster you will have your doubled amount. Number 3. Investments. The rule of 72 can also be used to evaluate your investments. At some point in life, we all want investments, and you can use this rule to get a key idea of how long it will take for your money to double. So, if you are thinking about investing, the rule of 72 can help you determine how long it may take before you receive a 100% return on your investment. Regardless of the type of investment you make, the rule of 72 will benefit you as long as you also use the idea of compound interest. To better understand this rule, let's look at the following scenarios. Investment number 1, savings deposit at 1% annual return. Investment number 2, government bonds with an annual rate of return of 5%. Investment number 3, mutual funds with an annual rate of return of 8%. Investment number 4, stocks with an annual return of 12%. Now, using the rule of 72, try to calculate for yourself how long it will take you to see the return on these investments. Write in your answers in the comments and tell me what pattern you can see. Number 4. Inflation rate. You may hear on the news that there is inflation going on right now. But what does this really mean? An inflation rate is the rate at which prices tend to increase over a certain period of time. Things like household goods and services, for example, are affected by the inflation rate. In simple terms, it costs more to buy the same thing you bought this time last year. The rule of 72 helps us determine how long it will take to overcome inflation. By using the rule, you can financially plan ahead so you don't get hit by inflation. Number 5. Savings. This rule has many advantages, even when it comes to your savings, as it allows you to project when those savings will end up doubling. When it comes to saving your savings, setting a goal to save is good. There are many investment programs out there that can guarantee a minimum interest rate of at least 4% to 7% per year. So, now let's use an example. You have 1,000 euros, but now you put it towards a savings program of 5% per year. So 72 divided by 5 is equal to 14.5 years. So, it will only take 15 years to double your investment with the amount you have invested. And it is safe. Actual rates may be higher. All in all, the rule of 72 is a very useful mathematical calculation that you can use to identify everything we've described in the video. Of all the things you can use this rule for, what we learn every time is to be patient. If you liked the video, leave your like and subscribe. Bob Economist says goodbye.